I'm Proto Genius, and this is my $10 gimbal steadicam. First off, we're going to be using one Dorman jumbo storage hook, which you can get from Walmart or online for $2.67. That's just the general price I've run across as I've been doing this. You will need one 1/4 inch 20 by 8 bolt that is 73 cents for one of these at a do-it-best hardware store. One 1/4 20 by 3 bolt. These are 25 cents. You'll need two 1/4 inch 2 5/8 inches long eye bolts, and they're $1.29 a piece. One 3/4 inch PVC slip cap. One 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch PVC reducer, and the prices on these vary anywhere from like 30 cents to $1. One 8mm skateboard bearing. This is a brand new ABEX 7, but you can pull one of those out of a rollerblade or skateboard, so it shouldn't cost you hardly anything. 8 1/4 inch nuts. They're like 7 cents a piece, so it's like 56 cents for 8 of them. You'll need 10 1/4 inch center hole fender washer that is 1.5 inches in diameter, and they're 19 cents a piece. 10 5/16 center hole washer by 1.25 inch outside diameter, they're 16 cents a piece. 3 1/4 inch butterfly nuts, and they're 21 cents a piece. One 1 inch long high pressure hose that is 5/80 diameter, and it's 11 cents. One 3/4 inch long 1/2 inch PVC pipe, and the price on these vary. It's fairly cheap. It's gonna be like 30 cents tops. One 6 inch long 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and that's just 17 cents. You'll need 8 1/4 inch self-tapping screws. The tools you will need are a hacksaw, a 1/4 inch socket, an electric drill, a hammer, one pair of channel locks, a 7/16 socket and ratchet, 4 drill bits, one that is a size 29, one that is a 23/64, one that is a 1/4, and one that is 13/64, one X-Acto knife razor blade, and a block of wood. First off, take your jumbo storage hook and drill a hole right in the center of this spot around your mounting screw holes, using your 1/4 inch drill bit. Then, using the same drill bit, drill a hole in the exact center of this area of the hook. Now take your big drill bit and drill through the front of the hook. Don't go all the way through, just through the front hole. Now take your 23/64 drill bit and drill through the back side of that hole. Now take off the end cap. Save this because we're going to use this for later, and dump out all the junk on the inside. Using our 13/64 drill bit, we're going to drill a hole right here. Notice there's a little edge right here on the inside. And you're not going to want to drill into that part, you just want to drill into the center. Now mount our eye hook into this hole. It might take a little bit of screwing to get it on. Okay, mark and cut this spot right here with the hacksaw. This is what they should both look like when you're done cutting them. Now use the hammer to hammer one closed to where the hole is fairly open still, but it's closed and the two ends are touching each other. It should look like this when you're done hammering it. And now take your other hook and put it inside like this and close this hook right here. Now you can do this all with the hammer, or sometimes if you have a pair of these, a pair of channel locks, they actually work really well to close that. Just be careful. And now you have your gimbal. Now we're going to take our PVC cap and drill a hole right in the center with our 1/4 inch drill bit. Now on the back we're going to take and drill a small, use the biggest drill bit we have and drill just a little bit down into that plastic so that when we mount the gimbal, the nut will be able to go into a hole. Remember to only drill about halfway down into that hole. Don't drill all the way through, just partially. Like so. So it'll lock tight in there. Now put a nut on your gimbal and push your cap up to where that nut is, screwed up to the top. And lock that cap right into the center between those two nuts. And that should keep the gimbal from letting pieces twist down inside, because if it gets too far down in there, it won't let it go. Won't let it work. So don't let it get down inside of there. Now lock that tight with your crescent wrench. And this should let you lock it right in place. Alright, now mount your gimbal onto the hook and lock it with a 1/4 inch nut. Now put a nut on the other end of your gimbal. Take your reducer and put your bearing inside. Then take your gimbal and put it up through the middle and put a nut on the inside and make sure that's locked good and tight. Use your needle nose pliers to reach down inside of the hole to make it fit just right. Put in your 6-inch PVC pipe and then use a self-tapping screw, your shortest ones, and put 4 of them around the edge to keep the handle in place. Make sure this is in good and tight when you do that too. And here's what your finished handle should look like. Now we're going to take our small piece of 1/2 inch PVC pipe, our 3/4 inch long piece, and put in our inch long piece of pressurized air hose. It's going to be a good squeeze to get that in there. Now cut this piece in half again with the hacksaw. Be really careful at this part. Yeah, don't cut off your fingers. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Now, take your long bolt and put it over the top of that piece and put it down inside of the short end of the jumbo hook. Once we've pushed our centerpiece in all the way, we need to use the self-tapping screws to go around the outside and lock into the PVC. Now, these need to be as short as possible. Just grab the shortest self-tapping screw you can find to go into that. Otherwise, it'll be just a bit too much. Mark a line around the outside where you need to put your screws through so that you're not missing the PVC. It should look like this when it's done with that. Now, take our cap. It's going to be a good snug fit on there because the drill bit was small. But push that screw down over into that hole. And then mount that piece. Slide it all the way over the end. And now, this gives you adjustment where you want to put your weight. Just make sure that stays on there, good and snug. Okay, now take your smaller bolt and put it into our front hole with a fender washer, with your smaller fender washer, and a butterfly nut right here. Now slide a nut down almost to where it touches your butterfly nut, and take your remaining 9 fender washers, the small ones, and put them all on that screw. Now remember, when you're picking out these fender washers, that you need to get the thickest ones you can get your hands on, because they'll have thin ones and thick ones. It'll be the same price. So the thicker the more weight. And this is the weight that we're using for this setup. Now just put another nut on the end of that, and that'll actually lock really well. You don't need to have another butterfly nut on there because you can just twist. Now you can adjust your weight according to how heavy your camera is. Now we're going to put our final weight on the back of our gimbal steadicam. So we're going to put on a nut on the back, then take our final 10 fender washers, our big ones, and put them on, and then put on another nut on the end of that, and your gimbal steadicam is almost done. Okay, now we just need to put on our final butterfly nut onto the top of our steadicam. Well, there you go. There's the final $10 gimbal steadicam. Now, make sure to watch my next video. It is how to make an adjustable top for this for $5. The way it is right now, it'll work just fine, as you can adjust your weight down here. But if you want to have more adjustment, go right ahead and watch my next video, and I'll show you guys how to make it.